Hi there everybody, I'm Budging Salmon here, and today we're going to be making another decklist video for the NR event. This deck I really enjoy because uh, it reminds me of a time where archetypes were still a relatively new thing, and me and my friends would sit around and we'd like find a tin of cards and we'd just try to build the deck best possible out of it. Best deck possible. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Is that what I said? I don't remember. But most importantly is that this event feels like that. And I've said it a lot in the comments. I've said it on the Yu-Gi-Oh page that I have and all that good stuff. And this deck reminds me of a new version of a deck that we had back then, which was an Earth RAWK deck. Because like I said, archetypes weren't really a thing, so it was kind of cool to just have a theme to your deck, even if it wasn't like super good. And so like the deck back then would have things like Guardian Statue or Lost Guardian or you know occasionally Goggle Golem, just older stuff. It's like 2007, 2008. Enraged Muka Muka, all that stuff. Like that was like the cards you have. I think like the newest one was like Block Warrior or something. You'd have like Grand Mullinet, Monk Fighter, all that kind of stuff. So this deck kind of reminds me of that. It has the same kind of feel. I'm a sucker for Neospatian Grand Mole. Love all the hero cards, all that good stuff. So this is it's like a Triamid deck. It's not going to be as good as obviously if you had your SRs or URs, but it's going to wear people down, and that'll get you a win. So let's take a look at what we got. So we got Neospatian Grand Mole, and at the start of the damage step, if you battle a monster, you can bounce that monster and Grand Mole back to your hand. So that's good. We have Triamid Dancer. You can target a Triamid in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck. If you do all rock monsters you have, gain attack and defense. Once per turn, during your opponent's turn, you can target one Triamid field spell in your field zone sent to the graveyard, and then activate another field spell from your deck with a different name. So that's good because we've got a couple in here. Then you have Triamid Hunter. If a field spell card is face up on the field, you can normal summon one additional rock type monster in your normal summoner set. Once per turn, during your opponent's turn, you can target one field spell card sent to the graveyard, activate a different field spell card. That's kind of what they do. Sentry Soldier of Stone. If all rock monsters you control, or if all monsters you control are rock monsters, while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon it, and you can only use Sentry Soldier of Stone once per turn. Super good. That's going to be what kind of builds up our wall, that, and our Revival Golem. So we have Revival Golem. You can only be used once per turn. When this card is sent from the deck to the graveyard, activate one of the effects, special summon it from the graveyard, add this card from the graveyard to your hand. Easy. Tackle Crusader. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can activate one of these effects, target one monster your opponent controls, change it to face down defense position, target one face up spell or trap card your opponent controls, and return it to the hand. And they can't activate cards with the same names as the return effects this turn. So that'll be really good for locking down like a lot of their deck lists and stuff, all that good stuff. Just making sure that they can't do what they want to do. Good control. Triamid Master. Once per turn, you can send one face-up Triamid card you control to the graveyard, then target one set card on the field and destroy it. Once per turn, your opponent's turn, you can do the field spell thing where you destroy yours, or send it to the graveyard and then add a new one from the deck. The piece de resistance of the deck. One of my favorite attribute or effects at the game, obviously from my Remove from Play videos, and a reason that we used this deck back in the day was because of Mega Rock Dragon. He can't be normal summoned or set, and he cannot be special summoned except for removing from play rock monsters in your graveyard, and the original attack and defense of the card become the number of rock type monsters you remove from play times 700. So with all the Triamids being rocks, and if they somehow manage to kill your Sentry Soldiers and your Revival Soldiers at some point, then you get your boy out here with a ton of attack power. We got Polymerization, we have one fusion monster, we'll look into that in a minute. Triamid Fortress, all rock type monsters on the field gain 500 defense. All Triamid monsters on the field cannot be destroyed by card effects. If this face up card in the field zone is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Triamid monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Good stuff, right? Triamid Crusader. Each time a rock type monster is normal summoned, gain 500 life points. If a normal Triamid monster is normal summoned, you can draw one card, then discard one card. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one Triamid monster from your deck to your hand. Cool. Triamid King Golem. All rock type monsters on the field gain 500 attack. If a Triamid monster you control battles an opponent's cards and effects. If your Triamid monster you control battles, your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated till the end of the damage step. If it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Triamid monster from your hand. You can only use the effects once per turn. In the continuous one, Triamid loading. If a field spell is placed face up in your field zone, you can add one Triamid spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, except Pyramid or Triamid loading. If face up monster, rock monster you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can special summon one Triamid with a different name from your deck. Cool. That's just to keep your monsters cycling out. You can get them in your graveyard. You can just do a bunch of stuff with them. You can all build up to your Mega Rock Dragon. It's great. MST, self-explanatory. Wall of Disruption. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, all attackers and monsters your opponent control loses 800. You have a bunch of monsters with pretty high defense going on in this deck. I mean, there's some pretty ones, but like pretty high defense. So, you know, dropping them 800 attack while you're boosting yourself by 500 defense, like they're just gonna take some hits. There's no way around it for them. Then you have Paleozoic, is it Canada? Okay, we'll go Canada. You can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change the face-down defense position once per chain. When a trap card is activated while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon it as a normal monster. That's again just to keep monsters on your field, keep your life points safe. Lost Wind, you can target one face-up special summon monster on the field, negate its effects. Also, its attack is halved. If a monster special summoned from your opponent's extra deck while this card is in your graveyard, you can set this card. So we've got a couple of those in there just to get some negates on. Dogmatica Punishment, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, send one monster with an equal or higher attack from your extra deck to the graveyard. If you do, destroy that monster. Until the end of the next turn, after this card's effect resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck. Which is fine, because we'll stall them out anyway. And then we have Triamid Pulse. Once per turn, you can banish 2 cards from your graveyard. Any combination of rock-type monsters or field cards, then activate one of the effects. You can target one face-up card on the field and destroy it. Target one face-up rock monster in your graveyard and special summon in defense position. Target up to 3 field spell cards in your graveyard and shuffle them back into the deck and then draw a card. Very nice. Okay, so here's what we have the polymerization for. We have Invoked Magellanica. Yeah, oof, that's a mouthful. So, but wait, it uses Alistair the Invoker. We don't have any Alistair the Invokers. That's crazy. Except that we do. Here it is, Alistair the Invoker of Madness. You can link summon him. When he's on the field, his name becomes Alistair the Invoker. When he's on the field or in the graveyard. If a monster is fusion summoned while you control this monster, which it won't be because we have to use him, we can discard a card. If we do, add these cards, which is not really important. More importantly, it gets you a 3000 beater. That's also a rock earth monster. Then we have Phantom Knights. He's pretty cool, you know. He negates their effects, drops their attack to 0. Good stuff. Giga Brilliant is an old gold card. Once per turn, you can detach one material. All face-up monsters your opponent controls. All face-up monsters you control gain 300 attack. Soul of Silver Mountain, yet another rock earth monster. Use 2 level 3 earth monsters. Once per turn, you can attach one material from this card to set a card in your opponent's spell and trap card zone. Or you target one. Gosh, it's too early in the morning for this. You target one set card in your opponent's spell and trap card zone. It cannot be activated while this card is on the field. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, while it has XYZ material, you can target one earth monster in your graveyard and special summon it in defense position. As you can see, we got plenty. Giant Soldier of Steel. I like that it's a Giant Soldier of Stone upgrade. This card is unaffected by other monsters' effects. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can attach one material from this card, and it gains 1000 defense until the end of this turn. If it does, you take no effect damage from your opponent's card effects this turn. Super fun. So we have the Quantel Mech Beast Grand Pulse. Two level 3 monsters. Cannot attack unless it has materials. Once per turn, you can detach a material from this card to target a spell card on the field and destroy it. This effect can be activated during either player's turn. Um, we're not going to have Super Quantum Blue Layers material, so it's really not that important. We have Diamond Crab. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, change this card's defense to 0, and if you do, its attack to 3,000. These changes last till the end of the turn. If this card attacks, it's changed defense position at the end of the battle phase, so it's pretty safe. It has like a beat stick. You switch it to attack. You use its effect. You attack with it. It switches back, and then its defense switches back afterwards. Super fun. Um, Also a rock type monster. We have the Malevolent. Was it Sin? Yeah. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card and then target a monster your opponent controls, banish it until their next standby phase. At the end of the damage step, if this card attacks, you can make this card gain 300 attack, and if you do, you can increase its rank by 3. Alright, then we have Corbage. You can use it to... You can summon it by detaching 2 XYZ materials from a rank 3 or 4 insect type monster, which we just had. And then you can summon it. Blah blah blah. Use that materials for this material, all that good stuff. Once per turn, you can detach one XYZ material from this card, target a defense position monster your opponent controls, shuffle it back into their deck. Once per turn, if a monster's battle position on the field is changed, which I think we have a couple that could probably do that, you can attach one insect type monster from your graveyard to this card. Gravity Controller. I think it's going to be a star in this festival. It's just one non-link monster in your extra monster zone. Cannot be used as link material. This cannot be in the extra monster zone. Or sorry, it can be in the monster zone. Blah. It can't be destroyed by battle while it's there with a main monster. At the end of the damage step, if your opponent battles a monster in the extra zone, you can return both monsters to the and this card to the deck. Okay. Alright, so we already went through Alistair. He's just fodder. Let's be honest. For this guy. Geonator Transverser, another RAWK link. This linked card and monsters it points to cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. If this card points to 2 monsters, you can switch control. Super fun, especially with the ones that can go to your graveyard, and you can re-special summon them. Triple Burst Dragon. Is not a RAWK monster. Once per turn, during the damage step, when a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated, you can negate the activation. If this card attacks a defense resistant monster and inflicts piercing, during the main phase of the turn you special summon this card, you contribute this card, then target one link 2 or lower monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Then you can special summon one level 4 or lower dragon monster from your hand, which I don't think we're going to have any like that. I think these are all RAWKs, right? That's the whole point. But still, you get a link back, which is nice. This is just a beat stick. 2 monsters, including a link monster. 3,000 damage. Smack some people up. I'm really excited about this event. I'm not going to make this deck quite yet because I do have 3 decks to use, but if I end up making it, I'll make a duel video on it. That'll be super fun. I'm sure it'll be super frustrating for everyone involved. But yeah, I mean, let me know what you think. Let me know if there are any other NR decks you see me make a video out. I've seen this one floating around a bit, so I was really excited to look at it and get into it and show you guys. Well, anyway, that's it. Enjoy the event. I believe it's already started, so have fun. Happy duels.